SSC Tampa and Florida Southern College all promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner.
Good afternoon and welcome to the 2022 Sunshine State Conference Championship in men's lacrosse between the host Tampa Spartans and the visiting Florida Southern Mocs. I'm Bruce Wozniak here to call the action for you alongside Taylor Stolworthy on a championship Sunday afternoon as the Spartans look to stay perfect in hosting this championship game on a 85-degree Sunday where they will be wearing all white and the Mocs wearing all red.
Can I ask the announcer?
And
Matthew
Taylor, understatement of the year, but obviously this is the biggest game that both of these teams will play all season.
Yep, it's for the glory, it's for a trophy. And even though both these teams, we might expect them in postseason play, surely for the Spartans, one of the best teams in the nation and still undefeated, getting a chance to face your rival for some silverware is a huge moment and a lasting memory for every single player on either team. Tampa, of course, entering this game are the favorites, but you can't really count anyone out because when it comes to fighting for a title, all rules go out the window. It's who can do better on any given day. That's why we play the game. Spartans undefeated. Mocs have had a couple losses. Both teams not going to back down at all.
These two teams just played each other 3 weeks ago yesterday, and obviously, since Taylor just mentioned that the Spartans are perfect, it was a UT victory that night. So the Mocs come in with a, you could say 12-4 regular season, or excuse me, you could say 11-5 regular season record, and now 12-5 with their victory that allowed them to advance here. And UT, wow, who could have known when the season started and the first season under head coach J.B. Clark that they would win all 17 games, and that's where they are as play is underway. Hunter Turner wins the opening faceoff for the Spartans, and you see UT going to work right to left here, and they will be working in this game against starting goaltender Maxwell Freestone for Florida Southern. And the Spartans will look to get the first goal of the 2002 SSC Men's Lacrosse Championship game. This is Daniel Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick puts his shoulder down, gets inside, shoots, scores! Just like that, 34 seconds in, the Spartans take the lead.
The Spartans strike first. A shot from long range is able to find its way into the back of the net. We see the shot right here, cuts past his man, fires and scores past the keeper. Not able to get it that time, and the Spartans take a 1-0 lead. A good start for them, and we know just how good this Spartans team is, so the Mocs are going to need to respond quickly to make sure this game stays close.
Yeah, 17-8 was the final score when UT won the game between these two teams 3 weeks ago yesterday. And UT on the season averages scoring just over 15.5 goals a game. And so we know what a dangerous offense UT possesses. And they are already up 1-0. And Daniel Fitzpatrick, 31 goals in 2022 now. As you see the Mocs with their first offensive opportunity of the game, as Minor sends it over for May, and now back to Minor, and over here to Medeiros. Andrew Medeiros off to the races, drops a pass back and a pass over to the far side. And running on a broom was Minor, and a loose ball will be picked up by the Spartans. And they'll start out of their own end as it's brought up by Matthew Badeau, and his pass over. That's Sam Collingwood, and now down in behind the Mocs net. Working back there is Harry Kokowski. Kokowski watches as his teammates get set up in front of the Florida Southern net. Kokowski, Luke McEnany scores! A low shot that beats Maxwell Freestone, and 1:44 into the game, the Spartans are already up 2-0.
The Spartans strike again, and look at Luke McEnany. He's just waiting up top. He's sitting around. There's not really a Florida Southern player on him because they don't expect him to get the ball. Play circulates to him, and he has an open shot. He says, hey, it's from long range. I think I can make it. He shoots it. He makes it. The low shot finds the back of the net. His first of the game. Spartans take a lead, and we have a timeout, it looks like, from Florida Southern.
Luke McEnany now with 39 goals in 2022. We will take our first timeout. You're watching Tampa Spartans Lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. Complex on the grounds of the University of Tampa campus, where the host Spartans have jumped out very quickly to a 2-0 lead, only 1:44 into this game. And so now we're going to see Hunter Turner take this face-off for UT. And going against Kevin Horwitz, the face-off specialist for the Mocs. And Turner looked like he was going to get it. The ball is still loose. And as it rolls, it's chased down and picked up by Sean Nizolek for the Spartans, and a flag flies from the official in the far corner. And so 1:59 into the game, we're already going to get the first call. And obviously these two rivals, they face each other every season. This is going to be an emotional game for both.
It certainly is. 3 weeks ago I coined no love lost, all hate gained, and that really is, I think, a good motto for this rivalry. Expect it to get physical, expect it to get rough, and expect the magnitude of physicality to increase as play continues later in the game.
Surprise, there's a great turnout for this game, and nice to see the game being watched by members of both women's lacrosse teams who just played on this field for the conference championship right before this one. That one was won by Florida Southern. As you see the Spartans working it around here, Owen Miller with his pass over, and now he gets it right back. And once again, a long shot coming off the stick of Cole Willard, goes out of play. Possession stays with UT as they quickly restart. And up top, Owen Miller with the long shot, hit the goal post. And the rebound is controlled there by Cole Willard to Miller. And now Daniel Fitzpatrick fighting inside. Nice pass. McEnany working behind the net. McEnany goes to the ground, and a loose ball will be chased down by Willard, and he doesn't get there in time. And so it's turned over, and the Mocs start back the other way. They pass it over to the far side of the field. Sean Nolan. Nolan being chased there by Brady Stoll. And a pass over for May. Up top with it is Jay Miner. And he gets it right back. Medeiros going to go one-on-one here against Christian Barodiak. And a pass down behind the Spartans net, now right back out front. And no shot there available for Miner, so he goes behind the UT net. Atlas. This is Medeiros. Medeiros is pushed, carries on into the corner, pass behind the net. And a quick outlet pass. It's dropped on the field. Let's see who gets it as three of them battle for it. And finally coming up with it is Cormac McCarthy for UT. However, a procedure call, and the official on the far side of the field signals possession for the Mocs, and that gives them a fresh shot clock in the process. And they restart with Braden Williams. And now on the move is Miner. Miner turns back the other way, now spins again, scores! Jay Miner, the long shot that beats Blake Ulmer, and Florida Southern is on the board 4 minutes in.
I think you take a look at that shot right there. Not the world's greatest aimed or even the greatest shot to take, but look at the screen of players in front of the goal. That makes it so hard to read, especially when you're not expecting a shot coming from that position. allowing it to slide right into the back of the net without a lot of contest right there from the goalie or from any other defender. So a very intelligent shot. Even if the chance on its own didn't look the best, it goes in, and the Mocs are back within 2-1 Spartans lead, and we're about 10:50 all the way through in the first quarter.
Hunter Turner won the ensuing faceoff, however, and so the Spartans with possession here as Matthew Bedeau hands it off to Nick Papa, who had just come on. And now Papa stops, looks to his right, and gives it to Charlie Bolish, who just stepped out onto the field, as does Cole Willard, and that's Willard with the ball now. Willard across the Mocs line. Pass down low, and shot coming, scores! Luke McEnany. It's his second goal of the game, and the 2-goal lead is immediately restored by UT.
McEnany from the same spot, sitting far up beyond the arc. The defenders, they look inside because they're worried about the more close threats. It gets back to McEnany, and he says, "Thank you, I'll have another," and fires another shot, this time higher. His first shot went low, second shot goes high. Spartans lead 3-1. A great start for them in the conference championship. The Mocs already got one back, but that wasn't enough of a shot in the arm to make a huge difference. As they win the draw right here, they're going to need another to try to keep it pretty close.
Aiden Hickey with it for the Mocs. And now to Glasser, who had just stepped on the field. And Brendan Glasser hands it right off as it's worked over. And now back to Robichaux. Matt Bradley looking for some room to operate. Sends it over for Atlas. And now in behind the UT net. They move it quickly to the other side of the field. And up top again is Robichaux. Quickly now to Atlas. Atlas sends a pass and a long shot taken there by Bradley. Ulmer somehow able to get a piece of it as the Spartans start back out of their own end. There's a pass up ahead now for Jackson Day. And this is Bedeau. Scores! Matthew Bedeau. How do you like that one? And UT already in a 4-1 lead, and we're only 5:37 into the game.
This Tampa team is one of the best the Spartans have ever had. J.V. Clark, already so much success throughout his D2 coaching career, has come into the Spartans and taken a very well-built machine. It's been a very strong lacrosse program for so many years. He's come in and he's almost been like the final piece in the jigsaw puzzle. I think this might be the best Spartans team that could be set for a national title run. Forget what happens here, because with a 17-0 record, there's no way they'll miss the national tournament, even if they do get upset by Florida Southern. This team fires on all cylinders every single day. Florida Southern already has a goal and a chance here to try to bring it back to 4-2. But a nearly flawless start for the Spartans again, as we've seen through the entire season.
Edward May on the run. May puts his shoulder down, heads to the net, and is pushed by Christian Brodiak. So he was unable to get a shot away, but now gets a pass up. And Miner flips pass and a quick shot there. Save made on the shot by Medeiros.
The rebound deflected into the back of the net, but the referee says, nope, that was a crease violation, or at the very least, you can't get too close to that.
So the Spartans starting strong here at home, hosting the 2022 Sunshine State Conference Championship game. And this is Owen Miller with it. Miller has a little bit of room. Sends a pass over. And now McEnany scores again! His third of the game. Luke McEnany makes it 5-1.
Luke McEnany, a fire in his heart, ice in his veins, completes a first quarter hat trick. And we see him this time, another long shot, gets him to the other side of the goalie. We see the goalie, he has the big net and he has the little end of the stick. McEnany fires it to the opposite hand to get the best possible chance at a goal, and it's impeccably aimed. The Spartans take a 5-1 lead, 8:27 to go in the first quarter.
Ethan Paduch gets the assist as the Spartans have now scored 5 times on 7 shots. And you see there Hunter Turner losing his helmet in the face-off, and the official there awarding possession to the Mocs. And so here they come, already trailing by 4, and we're not even halfway into the first quarter. And this is Medeiros, the pass, and they send it right down behind the Spartans net and over to the far side of the field. That's Minor trying to get away from the defender, sends it back up top, and now a pass that ends up with Edward May. I don't know that's who it was initially intended for, and he ends up scoring. So it looked like the pass was actually intended for Flammenspec, and Edward May receives it, promptly deposits it in the back of the UT net.
Yeah, that was an unplanned play. They weren't expecting it to get to May, but I bet they're pretty glad it did, because it led to a really nice near post shot that was fired and tucked home very nicely, just like tucking your own kid at night, giving him a nice kiss on the forehead. And for Florida Southern, that little kiss puts them within 3. Spartans still lead, but Florida Southern still showing signs of life and still fighting. 7:45 left to go in the first. 5-2 Spartan lead as there's a scramble for the ball. Tampa comes away with it.
Hunter Turner keeps it himself, takes it down, and his pass misses, and it's chased to the corner and kept alive. And the official right there on the spot says play is still on, and Florida Southern heads back the other way. And that's Philip Chevret. And now a pass for Atlas. Jeff Atlas directing one of his teammates and gives it to him. That's Brendan Glasser. And Glasser waits as the Mocs complete some personnel changes. And Clayton Mensch over now for Robichaux and to Atlas. Atlas sends a pass over. And here's Robichaux again. And to the other side of the field, now down low, a spin shot, scores! Sean Nolan. And the Mocs crawl back within 2. It's now 5-3.
The Mocs strike back again. That's second goal in the row, but look at just this shot right here. We're going to see them on the replay. Good distribution from behind the net. Turns, jumps, fire. Bam. That's a huge goal for the Mocs. They're going to draw it within 2. Tampa still leading, but Florida Southern knocking on the door. Getting closer. Tampa looking in the rear mirror. That lead isn't as large as it appears.
Hunter Turner and Kevin Horwitz again here on the face-off, and Horwitz wins that one, and he quickly sends a pass up ahead as both teams will make changes. That's Sean Nolan with it, and he connects with Atlas. Now up top with it, Medeiros, and it's sent over to the far side, and just stepping onto the field was Edward May, as the ball is loose and taken away by Brady Stoll, and now the Spartans will start out of their own end.
That's a very useful interception for the Spartans, because the Mocs had a little bit of momentum going. 2 quick possessions and goals in a row gives a chance now for the Spartans to fire right back.
Jackson Day, and a pass back, long shot coming, scores! Sam Collingwood, and UT answers right back, and the lead is now 6-3 as they're coming fast and furious.
The sharp shooters that the Spartans have been firing arrows into the back of the net all night. I mean, look at this shot right here. A masterfully taken shot from very deep. That was relatively close to the restraining line. As it goes into the back of the net, the Spartans now up 6-3 again, and Sam Collingwood gets his first of the game. 4 Spartan goal scorers, they've been sharing the love, and there are also 6 total point scorers for the Spartans, as Kilkowski and White have 2 assists, 1 each.
For Florida Southern, this is Jeff Atlas, and up top now, Brendan Glasser. Glasser being watched there by Sean Nizolik, and now working from the far side. It's up top to Robichaux, and Robichaux, little spin move, but there to help out was Matthew Bedeau defensively, and they cause a turnover, and here come the Spartans in transition. Bedeau crosses midfield, and now puts on the brakes and sends a pass over that connects, and nice passing by UT, and a shot there by Colin White off the pass from Matukas. It goes out of play. The official down in the corner signals possession for the Spartans and signals for a reset of the shot clock. And so Charlie Bolish with a pass over now for Papa. Nick Papa, 5:05 left in the first quarter, 6-3 UT. And Willard sends a pass behind the net. Kilkowski with it now. Kilkowski, nice spin move to get away from the defender, and a pass, long shot coming from Bolish, and didn't get through, gets the rebound, and White, his shot didn't get through either. And Kilkowski comes up with the rebound. 20 on the shot clock for the Spartans. And now Papa sends it over for Willard. 13 on the shot clock. Willard backing his way in, looks for an open teammate, goes in behind the net, and the shot clock winding down. Willard takes a shot, and a save made by Freestone. And so the Spartans get a lucky break there, as possession is still with UT and a fresh shot clock, as Kilkowski goes to work behind the net. Up top to Bolish, over to Willard, and now a long shot coming. That one goes wide and out of play off the stick of Nick Papa. And UT up 6-3 with possession now, looking to extend it to a 4-goal lead, and a long shot there goes out of play by Nick Papa. Looked like an instant replay of what we just saw a moment or two ago, and Kilkowski will put it into play once again, as the shot clock still shows plenty of time, 35 seconds. Kilkowski shakes off the stick check. Kilkowski, now it's taken away from him, and a nice play defensively by Nick Shannon for Florida Southern, as the Mocs start out of their own end and they quickly cross midfield. And now a pass up ahead, and there's Atlas. Atlas waits and gives it to Medeiros, who had just stepped on the field, and Medeiros puts the brakes on as one of his teammates heads off the field. Out steps Jay Miner, and he gives it to him. To Medeiros once again. And now Miner goes to the other side of the field to Edward May. May gets past the defender, puts his shoulder down, takes a shot, and Ulmer got a piece of that one as it goes out of bounds. Possession stays with Florida Southern. And now it's put in play from the corner by Medeiros. And Medeiros will give it to Miner. Miner looking to go one-on-one here against Owen Matukas. To the side of the Spartans net. Miner's still with it. And now they're working up top to May. May, a collision there. And it goes in front. It's taken away by the Spartans. And Brady Stoll puts his shoulder down, as though he was a fullback trying to fight through the line. And the official awards possession to the Mocs. And the Spartans none too happy about that outcome. As you see, Cormac McCarthy being attended to out on the field. And he's walked to the sideline. We'll have to keep an eye on him.
Never good to see a player go down, and thankfully he's able to walk it off, but I'll have to check on that, and again, hopefully it's just nothing major. Even though there's a rivalry, you never want to see players go down. Whether you're a Florida Southern player, you don't want to see a Spartan get injured. If you're a Spartan, you don't want to see a Moc get injured. All you want to do is just have some fun, and even if there's a little bit of physicality, you still want to be able to play. A good save there by Ulmer.
And Ulmer, does he throw it away? It was intended for Stoll. Now Stoll knocks down Miner, and the Spartans do carry on as they cross the Florida Southern line. Here's an opportunity, a shot coming, scores! The Spartans go up 7-3.
The Spartans fire one more time. That's the 10th goal of the first quarter, so an offensive explosion here. And again, another long shot. That has been the kryptonite for Freestone, as Hayden Toth finds back of the net right here. And for Hayden Toth, that is his first goal of the game. He actually had come on pretty recently, for the first time in the game, and immediately provides a goal.
And so the Spartans with a football-sounding 7-3 lead. As you see, Ulmer retrieve it behind his own net.
And indeed, a 7-3 little football score. Florida State's going to want to Florida Southern is going to want to get a touchdown here to get right back into it, or try to take the lead. They might settle for a field goal to keep it close for now, but Spartans now have it in the attacking third, hovering around the restraining line.
Owen Miller, the pass over for Fitzpatrick. And now for Ethan Paduch, who just stepped on. Fitzpatrick back to Miller. And Fitzpatrick again. Now Miller looking things over, heads towards the far sideline, and sends a pass into the corner to White. Behind the net is Sanchez, and over here to McEnany. McEnany with a little spin move. A return pass to Sanchez. Sanchez has it knocked free, and the Spartans are able to come up with it as Fitzpatrick came out of the pack with possession. Fitzpatrick, a nice pass. Miller, and a good save there by Freestone. And the Mocs will start it out of their own end as Freestone will go back the other way. And starting it up is Nick Shannon. He goes back to the goaltender one more time. And now up ahead to Aiden Hickey. Hickey being watched as the official monitoring the out of bounds line. And ahead goes Chevrette. And it's knocked loose. A nice play defensively by Sean Mazolik to cause the turnover. Here come the Spartans in transition. McEnany with a pass. Shot coming. Scores! Owen Matukis. And the Spartans go up 8-3 with just 24 seconds left in the first.
Do you like M&Ms? The Spartans sure do. Matukis and McEnany connecting to give the Spartans an 8-3 lead with 24 seconds left. The 1-2 finds the back of the net for the sweet chocolate treat known as a goal. The Spartans on all cylinders still. 11 shots on goal, and 8 of them found the back of the net. Matukis' first goal, and an assist right here for McEnany, meaning McEnany now has 4 goal contributions in the game. There's a flag up there after that face-off.
It's worth noting the Hayden Toth goal. He picked a great time to get his first one of 2022, and the biggest game of the season for his team as the Spartans playing host here in the 2022 Sunshine State Conference Men's Lacrosse Championship game. And they have a big 5-goal lead, although a call has been made against the Spartans. And so the Mocs with the extra man here. And just 12 seconds left in the quarter. Let's see if they'll get one off before time expires. It's knocked down. 5 seconds left. And Atlas is going to need to do something quickly. And the horn goes to end the first quarter. And head coach J.B. Clark has to be thrilled with what he's seeing from his Tampa Spartans. They lead 8-3. We'll be back with the second quarter here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
Just another ordinary day at UT.
Back live here and almost ready to start the second quarter of play. The Spartans with a big 8-3 lead. They are out shooting the Mocs 11-7. 7-5 face-offs won, favoring Florida Southern. Although the big story of the first quarter might be the fact that the Mocs committed 8 turnovers, only 4 committed by UT. As we get set with the teams now having changed ends, and the face-off coming up here between Hunter Turner and Kevin Horowitz. Or excuse me, that wasn't Hunter Turner this time. They went with Casey Platonik. Slight change made there by the Spartans in the face-off circle. As you see the Mocs with the opening possession of the second quarter. And getting things set up is Edward May and his pass over. And a pass drop back. And now a long shot coming. They score. Jay Miner, 24 seconds into the quarter, beats Blake Ulmer, and it's 8-4.
Yeah, rare shot to beat Ulmer, as he has been very good tonight. But this time, they try him from distance and find it. A really tough shot to save. It's right by his helmet. A tough and awkward place to put the stick. Very well aimed. You see Ulmer trying to swipe across, not able to stop it. The Mocs strike back. They cut the deficit to now just a 50-50, where it's 8-4. They're going to need to double their goals to get back into it, but they're still looking pretty good. They've just, I think, been unlucky on the defensive end. They've been doing well to try to keep up on the offensive end.
This time it is Horowitz and Hunter Turner, and you see the Mocs come away with it as there's a pass up ahead, and going to work offensively, Jeff Atlas. It's a pair of threes bump there. Brady Stoll defensively for UT. Atlas in behind the Spartans net, a little spin move. Stoll stays with him, and now a defensive switch, and the official with a call right there against the Mocs, and it'll be turned over as UT gets right to work, crossing midfield. And now up over the Mocs line. And this is Christian Borodiak. Borodiak looks over to the sideline and now jogs it down towards the corner. Pass back instead for Colin White. White takes a look. Owen Miller just stepped onto the field. He receives the pass and gives it to Ethan Paduch, who had just joined him out there as well. And Paduch will now give it to Daniel Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick on the run. Has some room, takes a shot, and it goes out of play. And possession stays with the Spartans. Still plenty of time, 40 seconds left on the shot clock. And Harry Kilkowski puts it in play. This is Colin White. And up top, Miller sends it over for Paduch. Paduch puts his head down and can't get past the defender, sends a pass to the corner instead. Up top, Miller over for Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, 2 defenders on him, and now finds an opening, and a nice save there by Freestone, and it's not enough as the Spartans counter on the rebound, and it's 9-4.
Freestone made a great save, getting down to make it. If we take a look at the replay, this was not an easy shot to stop. He goes down, but unfortunately that rebound lands right to a Spartan stick, and he says, oh, hey, you're still on the ground? Let me just take that really quick. And the Spartans are back up by 5. A good goal for the Spartans, and disappointing for Freestone. He really didn't do anything wrong there. It's the 4th of the game for Luke McEnany, who has looked nearly unstoppable so far.
And now the face-off. Turner battling with Horowitz, and Turner looked like he was going to come out with it. The ball is still loose. 4 of them battle for it, and down goes Hunter Turner. The ball's still loose, and who's going to come away with it? This chase down and finally picked up by the Spartans, and a fine hand given to Hayden Toth as he persevered, and the Spartans with it now as Collingwood crosses midfield and over the Mox line down into the corner. It's Colin White and Kilkowski heads towards the back of the Mox net. Pass for White. Top now Charlie Bolish, and sends it over to Cole Willard, who had just stepped on and looked like we were going to see a long shot from Nick Papa, but some passes instead set up Charlie Bolish. Nope, he sends it back for Willard, and Papa switches hands a couple times. Now up to Willard, and Willard with a nice spin move. Nothing available though. He'll try this side, and Willard tries to get past the defender, tried a backhand shot, and the official calls it Spartans possession still. 18 on the shot clock though, so UT needs to get to work here as Charlie Bolish is off to the races. Pass into the corner, and now wanting to shoot his Papa, he does. And it's going to go wide and out of play on the far side of the field. The officials say it stays with UT, and they get a reset of the shot clock. And now Bolish on the far side for Kilkowski. Kilkowski in behind the Mox net. Kilkowski a couple of spin moves and has some room. Pass out in front, Colin White, and can't find it as it goes loose behind the net. White comes up with it himself. And looking for a shot was Bolish, but it goes high and out of play. And UT with a prolonged possession here, 31 on this shot clock. As this is Cole Willard with it. Willard with a shot. That one goes out of bounds as well. And UT now with 25 on the shot clock. They lead at 9-4. And here's Colin White up top for Papa. Bolish, and a long shot taken by Willard goes out of play. And so Harry Kilkowski will put it in, and after this much work, this much time spent down there, the Spartans are going to be pretty frustrated if they come away without a shot on goal, not to mention one more in the back of the net. Kilkowski with a pass over. Here's a shot coming. Scores! Charlie Bolish, as the Spartans hit double digits. It's 10-4.
You were saying that the Spartans might be disappointed. Well, any disappointment they were having from the long possession evaporated immediately after the lightning strike from Bolish. Fires it hard into the top corner. Not much that Freestone can do. It was a well-taken and well-aimed shot. The Spartans now lead 10-4, a 6-goal margin as they get their second of the quarter. That one assisted by Harry Kilkowski. We got the second assist of the game.
And you saw how many shots were missing the net. The Spartans now have 25 shots total, and quote-unquote only 16 of them have been on goal. As you saw, a number of them go wide and out of play. And as the Mox are in control here and take the possession down, and a shot goes wide and out of play, and it will be put in by Sean Nolan. Sends it up top for May. Relays it to Minor, and he passes it up. Coming down the far side is Medeiros. Medeiros is bumped. And over for Minor. Minor looking to shoot. He does. It goes wide and out of play. Didn't get the lane that he wanted. And now here goes Atlas. Atlas met by a Spartan defender back there. Looking to go one-on-one here against Jackson Day. Atlas still with it. Up top, Minor looked like he wanted to shoot and backs up and instead sends a pass over for May. May has a lane and his shot misses the net. Possession still with Florida Southern, 23 on the shot clock for them. And this is Sean Nolan with it now. Nolan Tries to get by Day and takes a shot that goes out of play on the far side of the field.
I really commend the effort. He tried to get some air for that shot, but unfortunately, so did the ball. So it sails over the net, 8 seconds left on the shot clock, 6-5.
Miner is going to finally shoot one that Ulmer gets a piece of. And let's see, the official right there awards possession to the Mocs, to the dismay of Brady Stoll.
That'll also give a sigh of relief for Florida Southern as they now get a reset shot clock to go along with possession.
Sean Nolan gets around Day and now comes out in front, falls down, gets back up, and a nice pass, they score! That's Matt Flamenspeck, and it's 10-5 as the Mocs keep hanging around.
Florida Southern goal number 44.
The freshman from Alberta finds the back of the net off the good pass. He's able just to keep it close as Spartan defenders swarming his teammate. He gets a little bit of space, gets open, and a near point-blank shot that's nearly impossible for Ulmer to stop. It was Sean Nolan who's able to get the assist, his second of the game, third total goal contribution. And for Flamenspeck, that's his first goal.
So you saw the perseverance there by the Mocs. Shot wide, shot wide, shot wide. Ulmer save, and then they finally get back on the scoreboard. And here they are in possession again. As Horwitz, it's lost, and the Spartans will take over.
And you kept saying persevere. My high school's motto is aspirando et perservando, aspire and persevere. And that's what these teams have been doing when they're on long, drawn-out possessions. Keep trying, aspire, just keep fighting, and eventually they'll persevere, find it in the back of the net. And it's been a good story for both teams so far on offense. They wear each other down and find it in the back of the net. Ulmer's had a few more saves than Freestone, but both goalies have been pretty busy with 6 saves apiece.
This is Christian Cicchini, and that's Kilkowski behind the net over to the other side to McEnany. Fitzpatrick up top now to Paduch, and Owen Miller with it. Looks to gain the center of the field, can't. Paduch. And now Miller switches hands, shoots, and it looked like Freestone got a piece of it. And the Mocs come away with it, and they'll start back down the other way, trailing 10-5. And we are nearing the halfway point of the second quarter, as there's a pass up ahead, and Owen Miller, nice play defensively against Craig Connor, and now it'll be UT going back the other way, as that's Cicchini with it. Cicchini, Harry Kilkowski alone behind the net, gives it to him. Kilkowski was kind of hiding back there, and eventually Nick Shannon comes over to help out defensively, and Kilkowski wants to go one-on-one against him. Starts to, and now pulls up with a pass instead, and Owen Miller can't get a shot away, sends a pass over, it's dropped, and two of them battle for the loose ball. The Mocs get it, but hold on, a check there by McEnany causes a loose ball, and now it'll be chased down, and Harry Kilkowski comes up with it. Kilkowski sends a pass behind the Mocs net. Fitzpatrick puts on the brakes, goes back the other way. Fitzpatrick, two defenders on him, and a loose ball, and it's still free as a bunch of them chase after it. The Spartans come out of the pack with it, and the official right there signals a timeout being called on the Spartans sideline. We'll take a timeout as well. You're watching the 2022 Sunshine State Conference Championship game on the SSC Digital Network.
College sports.
There's light at the end of the tunnel.
A return to normal, and all we love about sports.
You've instilled resilience, focus, and selflessness in us. We've put those lessons to work.
We've found strength and unity in each other.
You continue to take us places we never imagined.
You bring out the best in us.
So when we look forward, we see the light at the end of the tunnel.
We see a better world for all of us and for college sports.
Thank you for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. 84 degrees here in Tampa as the Spartans are playing host to the Florida Southern Mocs, a matchup of teams with exceptional one-loss records. UT has not lost this season, 17-0 coming into today's game, and the Mocs 12-5. As you see, the teams coming back out on the field following the Spartans timeout with 6:39 remaining here in the first half. And now here go the Spartans offensively. Charlie Bolish across the line. Pass for Cecchini. Cecchini over for Papa, and now to Willard. Willard for Bolish. Bolish looking to go one-on-one against the defender. Sends a pass over instead. Willard looked like he was going to shoot. Now he bounces one, and it goes wide and out of play. Possession stays with the Spartans. And Harry Kilkowski will restart. 23 on the shot clock for UT. Cecchini up top for Bolish. Bolish steps over the line. Backs up, now wants to go one-on-one and try to go into the slot and didn't have a lane. Now he shoots one that goes out of play. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. And Harry Kokowski puts it in, takes a quick shot. That one goes wide and out of play as well. And just 1 second on the shot clock, so UT is going to turn it over here. And the Mocs will have an opportunity for a possession and try to cut into this 5-goal deficit.
Good job defending from the Mocs. They had a slower start on defense with the Spartans getting a lot of good chances. Second quarter, though, they've been a lot stronger defensively. Unfortunately for them, as have the Spartans, there's only been 4 goals scored in the second quarter in total, and both teams scoring 2 apiece, so the deficit has stayed as a sizable Spartan lead. But the Mocs still have plenty of time and are looking a little bit better. They can still fight back. Spartans, however, I want to make sure this game stays in their hands for now. Failed screen
for the Mocs. And quick passing goes down to behind the Spartans net. There's Clayton Mensch. And a collision there with the defender Borodiak. And now Atlas looking to go one-on-one. Atlas sends a pass down low, and there's a shot that goes way wide and out of play. Taken by Sean Nolan. And the Mocs with their shot clock down to 20 seconds now. That's Flammenspec. And nice play by the Spartans. And they're actually going to call a crease violation on Flammenspec. And so UT takes over. And disappointing, Taylor, if you're Florida Southern, who, as you mentioned, had such a good defensive stand, then you go down the other way and you have nothing to show for it.
Yeah, just to see that, you're a little bit excited once your team gets the ball back after holding Tampa to nothing. But then all of a sudden, you watch as Tampa defends just as well, and you just sigh and say, maybe next time. But the good news is, next time has come a little bit sooner. They're able to win the ball in the midfield after a hit and have one more chance right here.
Atlas looking for someone open in front of the net, holds onto it. Now he falls down, and the official throws a flag, and so we're going to have a call here with 3:59 left in the second quarter, and this will be against the Spartans. And so maybe the door opens a little bit for Florida Southern.
Southern needs a shot in the arm, and you know, whenever you get a good free position and a good chance like this right here, that can always spark something. The Spartans have been unbeaten so far, but then again, Spartans, they haven't had any serious major losing moments this season. Florida Southern has. They know how to come back from adversity. Tampa hasn't really had to. So when you're down and out, you know how to crawl your way back. So that gives Florida Southern a nice chance here if they want to try to get a comeback going.
And so the Mocs go to work with the extra man now as it's sent over. Minor quickly, they work it behind the net. And over there is Atlas to Minor once again. And up top with it is May. right in front and taken away by Hayden Toth. Nice play. And keep in mind there was a 1-minute tripping call to Owen Miller, so the Spartans will try to kill this off. As you see Blake Ulmer being pressured in a loose ball and chased down and picked up and thrown almost the length of the field, and the Mocs come away with it, but there's some sloppy play there as it'll be chased down and picked up by UT now. Sean Nizolik recovers for the home team, and now he sends it up ahead, and the Spartans cross midfield. Now across the Mocs line is Jackson Day, and UT has killed off the penalty that was called against Miller, and down to 2:41 left in the first half now. Pass intended for Ciccini that misses, and that one's going to roll out of bounds. And so possession of Florida Southern. Play getting a little sloppy here.
A little bit. I think both teams are getting a little more aggressive, wanting to get the offense back moving. And speaking of sloppy play, that one's not as sloppy for the Spartans, but a little sloppy for the Mocs. A good interception, and now they'll have another attacking opportunity.
A good takeaway there by Ronan Sanchez. And so up top with it now is Ethan Paduch, as the Spartans make a couple of personnel changes. And this is Daniel Fitzpatrick with it. And to Owen Miller, who just came on. Miller with a little step sends it behind the net to Kilkowski. And Miller finds Ciccini down low. Ciccini as it rolls loose. And now Sanchez with the shot. And that one's handled by Freestone. Back come the Mocs the other way. 1:48 to go in the first half.
Great save by Freestone right there to deny what was a good rebound chance for the Spartans.
And we're going to have a timeout called here by Marty Ward, the head coach of Florida Southern. You are watching the 2022 Men's Lacrosse Sunshine State Conference Championship game. We'll be right back on the SSC Digital Network. And we're back following the timeout called by the Mocs. And Taylor, you have to wonder if head coach Marty Ward was telling his team, we're not out of this. Yes, at the end of the first quarter, it didn't look good. It was 8-3. But 2-2 here in the second quarter, and probably urging his guys, keep your heads in this, positive thinking. This is still a chance. We do have possession, and reaffirming why they got to here in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's only 10-5, and a second half to play. Florida Southern hasn't been better than the Spartans so far, and the Spartans have clearly been a little better, but by no means are Florida Southern out of it. They've also gotten unlucky because Omer has also had a really good night in goal. That saved number 8 on a total of 13 shot attempts. This game could be a lot closer if Omer was just a little bit weaker.
Jackson Day, and a save made there by Freestone. And so the Mocs with an opportunity going back the other way. Quickly they come, and there's a shot that goes wide and out of play, taken by Atlas. And possession stays with Florida Southern. 1:01 left in the half. And it looks like we're going to have another timeout called, although was this by the Spartans? Either way, we will step aside one more time before the half expires, and be back with the conclusion of the first half here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
I
am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Back live as we have just 1 minute and 1 second left here in the first half. UT in the lead 10-5. As I mentioned, they were leading 8-3 at the end of the first quarter, and the teams have settled into a, for all intents and purposes, defensive battle here in the second, with each team only scoring 2 times each. And that's how we're at our current score of 10-5. As you see, the Mocs get ready. They essentially can turn off the game clock, or excuse me, the shot clock if they want, as there's 68 on the shot clock, 57 in the half. As you see, Medeiros working his way in, and now Medeiros up top for May, and May is it back to Medeiros, who's in the corner and now heads behind the Spartans net. Ups out on the other side, pass right in front. Oh, and shooting without the ball was Atlas. And so the Spartans will likely have the last shot of the first half, barring disaster, as Brady Soul sends it up ahead. And off goes Owen Stukas in front, and a nice save there by Freestone. And the Mocs send it up ahead to midfield. 12 seconds. They can get one more shot away. And there's a pass that misses, though. 5 seconds left, and neither team in control. 3 seconds. Bolish throws it the length of the field, and having to make the save was Freestone. But the first half ends with the Spartans in a 10-5 lead. So we will have a 10-minute break for halftime, and then be back with the third quarter of the 2022 Men's Lacrosse Sunshine State Conference Championship game here on the SSC Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. UT students travel from across the nation and around the globe to join a dynamic learning community. There are 150 academic programs, continuing studies for non-traditional students, and a highly ranked graduate school. Academic opportunities are extensive and rigorous, but this mid-sized residential campus retains a welcoming feel. With a student-faculty ratio of 16-1, students benefit from direct interaction with expert faculty, a faculty that is passionate about teaching and mentoring. Outside the classroom, UT enjoys a unique environment. Plant Hall, a National Historic Landmark, is surrounded by modern and historic buildings on 105 acres. UT's beautiful downtown riverfront setting offers a gateway to the heart of a vibrant city. Students are within walking distance of jobs and internships, and the recreational opportunities are endless, both off-campus and on campus. Students live in upscale residence halls and enjoy diverse activities, including performing arts, guest lectures, nearly 200 clubs and organizations, and a nationally ranked NCAA Division II athletics program. The UT experience begins with an innovative first-year program and continues with opportunities to challenge yourself in the honors program, to study abroad, to conduct research with faculty, to do an internship, to volunteer in the community, or to participate in multiple leadership programs. Explore your dreams, discover your talents, get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
In the late 1920s, the prospect of a Hillsborough High student enrolling in college was bleak. The nation was in the throes of the Great Depression. Businesses were failing, and many of Tampa's beautiful waterfront homes were left abandoned. The principal at Hillsborough High, Frederick Spalding, didn't see these barriers. He only saw bright young students who were in need of a place to continue their learning. In 1931, collegiate-level courses were offered at Hillsborough High. This would later become the University of Tampa. On August 2, 1933, Spalding arrived at the doors of Plant Hall with a 100-year lease from the city and a firm resolve, and with the turn of a key, opened the door to the University of Tampa. In its fledgling years, UT was fortunate if it could collect half of the tuition due from its students. It was only through the dedication of its professors, who worked without pay, that the university survived the Great Depression. Over the next several decades, UT grew slightly, enrolling up to 1,800 at times, starting several sports teams, and even began accepting students from other areas of the country. But in the early 90s, the growth seemed to stand still, even stop. UT needed new life, some passion. UT needed strong leadership.
In 1995, Dr. Vaughn became president, and UT began to transform. 1,000 UT students has become 7,200, and we are now entering our 17th consecutive year of record enrollment. All the while, UT's academic profile continues to increase. There has been $350 million in new construction since 2000. We have added 7 new residence halls, academic buildings and labs, as well as athletic facilities. Plant Hall even got new carpet and new windows. UT now has more than 3,000 events annually and 200 clubs and student organizations. We have won 13 NCAA Division II championships, and since 2000, Spartan teams have won 35 Sunshine State Conference titles. As a member of the University of Tampa Spartan family, you are a guiding force behind UT's remarkable success. We are alums, students, parents, and friends, and together we are changing lives. We are individuals, yet the greater whole is only complete when we work together. You have helped make UT a vibrant community with growing resources and a superior reputation. Just like in the beginning when professors worked without pay, the spirit of giving at UT remains strong. Last year, nearly $14 million was donated to the university by thousands of generous supporters. When we strengthen education, we strengthen our job force and our nation as a whole. Donations support academics, campus life, and a student's ability to afford an education. Your participation is what matters most and shows that our Spartan family believes in the future of UT. Whatever level of support, your gift is important to us and enables UT to provide the challenging, high-quality education that has defined our university. Thank you for helping UT achieve such great success.
Welcome to the University of Tampa. My name is Tucker Whitman and I'm a junior marketing major here at UT. Today we're going to look at some of the highlights of our beautiful Riverside campus here in downtown Tampa. We'll start at Plant Hall. This historic building was opened in 1891 as the Tampa Bay Hotel and now serves as the main academic building here at UT. with 4 floors of classrooms as well as faculty and administrative offices. Next up, the Vaughn Center, the hub of campus life and activities. This multi-purpose building includes the campus bookstore, our primary cafeteria plus an additional food court, a theater, as well as offices and meeting rooms for student organizations. The Vaughn Center is also one of UT's residence halls, providing 5 floors of student rooms. Morsani Hall is another residence hall here at UT. In addition to housing approximately 450 students, this building offers another selection of eateries as well as a small grocery store. Now let's check out the Sykes College of Business. This academic building houses classrooms and faculty offices for UT's undergrad and graduate business students. This building also has a real-time stock trading room. Right next door is the Sykes Chapel for Faith and Values. This gorgeous interfaith chapel features a large main hall complete with a massive pipe organ, as well as meditation rooms and meeting rooms. Student healthcare is a major priority for us here at UT. The Dickey Health and Wellness Center is accessible to all students and provides high-quality services including basic medical care, counseling, and wellness programs. On the east side of campus, you'll find the McDonald-Kelsey Library. Here, students can learn from a large collection of books, periodicals, and digital databases. They can also take advantage of our numerous study rooms and computers. The Academic Success Center is another great resource for students. This is your one-stop shop for academic advising, coaching, and tutoring services. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just want to shoot some hoops, the athletic facilities here at UT are hard to beat. The Bob Martinez Athletic Center includes UT's Department of Speech, Theater and Dance, as well as special guests. This is one of UT's newest facilities, the Innovation and Collaboration Building. Here you will find UT's very own Starbucks. In addition, classrooms, cybersecurity labs, study lounges, and the Loth Entrepreneurship Center, designed for student entrepreneurs to launch their startups. Thanks for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video tour of UT, we'd love to give you one in person. For more information or to schedule a campus visit, go to ut.edu.
And we're back, almost ready to start the second half as the Spartans have a 10-5 lead and lots of lacrosse left here in the 2022 Men's Lacrosse Sunshine State Conference Championship game. I'm Bruce Wozniak along with Taylor Stolworthy. Glad to be here to call the action for you on this beautiful sunny Sunday afternoon here in West Central Florida. And there's the face-off between Hunter Turner and Kevin Horwitz as who's going to come up with it. There's a procedure call signaled by the official on the far side of the field, and so UT will have the first possession of the second half. And this is Daniel Fitzpatrick racing in, shoots, and it goes out of play and behind the Mocs net. Shots on goal are 21-14 in favor of the Spartans. And 11 face-offs won by the visitors to just 6 for UT. As up top of it is Ethan Paduch. Crosses the Mocs line to Owen Miller. And now over to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick with a little spin move, looking to shoot. Now has some room, does. And did that one hit the goalpost? The Mocs come away with it, and either Maxwell Freestone got his latest save of the game or the goalpost helped him out, but in any event, Florida Southern has their first offensive possession of the second half.
I actually think that one came off a defender and then was able to ricochet back, so Florida Southern was now able to bring it up for their attack right here.
Freestone has 11 saves, and his counterpart Blake Ulmer has 9. As you see, the Mocs going to work here against Ulmer. And Medeiros tries to bowl his way through the defender Owen Matukas as you saw it go wide and out of play on the far side of the field. Jay Minor will put it into play over there and does. Sends it up top for May. And now to Medeiros again. Medeiros trying to get around Matukas. Medeiros tries the other side of the field. And May is checked closely there as a pick. And the official awards possession to the Spartans as off to the races goes Matthew Badeau. And he escapes a check from Edward May. And now Matukas with a shot that goes out of bounds. Possession stays with the Spartans. Exactly 2 minutes into the third quarter. And Harry Kilkowski on the restart, and the official tells him to hold up for a minute as one of the officials is on the far side of the field talking to the scorer's table.
Think they're just going to be wanting to double check either the clock or maybe a penalty or something? We'll have to wait and see.
And the official who was talking to the scorer's table now signals to his colleague that all is clear, and so the Spartans restart. Up top of it is Papa, and gets across the Mox line, and Nick Papa plots his next move, drops off a pass, Bolish, and a long shot coming, Willard. No, a pass and a bounce shot save made there by Freestone.
Freestone slams the door shut. He had a quiet first half and struggled to stop a few of the long shots the Spartans were trying to put by him. But ever since that second quarter, he has been locked in like Neo in the Matrix, getting in front of shots and shutting the Spartans offense down. Only 2 goals surrendered in the second quarter should tell you a lot about the story of his game. 12 minutes to go now. Florida Southern has it up.
And Sean Nolan has it for the Mox. And a pass back up top. And putting his shoulder down, Clayton Mensch, a bounce shot goes out of play. And the possession remains with the Mox as Sean Nolan puts it in just under the shade of the big oak tree down at that end of the field. And gets free, takes another shot. That one goes out of bounds as well. Possession stays with Florida Southern, 32 on the shot clock for them. And this is Flammenspec being checked there by Jackson Day. Brady Stoll causes a turnover. Yes, Day picks it up, and the Spartans will get another opportunity offensively as Charlie Bolish crosses midfield. Bolish up ahead. The pass over. That's Hayden Toth. Drops it off for Owen Miller. And now Miller on the run with some room to work. Miller shoots, and a save made there by Freestone. And quickly go the Mox the other way. And an opportunity. Blake Ulmer with the save. And the rebound goes all the way to the far sideline. And the official there on the spot rules possession will stay with Florida Southern.
Freestone with a big save on defense, followed up by Ulmer with a one-on-one point blank save. That's a true anything you can do, I can do a little better moment. These two goalies since the start of the second quarter putting on a clinic on how to be a good goalie. Both of them playing some shutdown defense with some saves. That time won't be able to stop it. The first goal of the third quarter comes at 10:37. Jane Miner slots it home. That time it was going to be near post on Ulmer. We look at the replay. They work it around the back. They find the man over to Ulmer's right, and he just whips a quick one. That's just a little too hard to stop.
And that's Miner's third goal of the game, and it comes 4:23 into this third quarter. So things have certainly settled down. As I mentioned in the first half, it was 8-3 UT after one, and then the teams really clamped down in the second quarter, each team scoring only twice each. And this time it takes approximately 4.5 minutes as you see them score again. So the Mox get 2 goals seconds apart after that's all they had the entire second quarter. and they now cut the deficit to 10-7.
Florida Southern with 2 quick jabs, trying to get back into this boxing match between rivals. This one right off the draw. The Mocs win it, bring it up, and a quick pass over the Flammenspec, who's able to get his second goal of the game. That one, of course, assisted off the draw by Kevin Horwitz. Horwitz is able to get his first assist of the game. And that is what winning the draw more often can get to you, because occasionally you'll have those opportunities. The Spartans need to wake up. They can't get complacent. They're still leading by 3, but a 3-goal deficit's a lot nicer than a 5-goal deficit. The Mocs will be loving this turnaround at the start of the second half.
However, Hunter Turner wins that faceoff, and so Sean Nazolik sends it over for Matthew Bedeau as the Spartans will make personnel changes. Daniel Fitzpatrick comes out on the field among others, and Bedeau is going to keep it himself and now gets it up ahead to Kilkowski. Kilkowski down in the corner with it. We're going to go one-on-one against the defender Nick Shannon as Owen Miller sends a pass over for Paduch, and now back to Miller again. Miller across the Mocs line has room. Miller takes a shot, and Freestone got a piece of that one as it rolls towards the far sidelines, and now it's batted backwards. And Owen Miller was chasing it down for the Spartans, but it looks like Shannon comes up with it for Florida Southern. And ahead go the Mocs as they cross midfield, although the pass misses, and Fitzpatrick will pick that one up for UT, and he goes back the other way. Fitzpatrick puts on the brakes, and Matukis holds onto it, knowing that his team is making changes behind him, and he himself will be one of the players going off the field as Bolish gives it to Papa, who just stepped on with Willard, and that is Willard with the ball now. Willard across the Mocs line, a spin move. Willard can't escape the defender and finally sends a pass behind the net. Kilkowski has it for Bolish. Up top, here's Papa across the Mocs line. Papa right in the slot. Colin White scores! And the Spartans go back into a 4-goal lead. It's 11-7.
Florida Southern had started the second half with a couple jabs with a knife to the Spartans' lead. Colin White comes in with a bandage right there. A good shot to put the Spartans up by 4, and the assist comes from Nick Papa.
Colin White was the Spartans' leading goal scorer and point getter this season. Came into today with 42 goals and 62 points in 2022. And White now has a goal and an assist today, as Hunter Turner will chase that one down. And it's sent up ahead as the Spartans cross midfield. That's Sam Collingwood with it. Now Fitzpatrick jogs, turns around, flips it to Owen Miller. Miller signals his teammates and sends it for Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick tries to get around the defense, goes in behind the net. Colin White, a backhand shot, misses and goes out of play on the far side of the field. And possession stays with the Spartans with 37 on the shot clock.
A good idea there, but no one was there to receive the backhand pass.
Here's Owen Miller sliding over to help out. Defensively was Jordan Long. And now Fitzpatrick looked like he was going to shoot. Now he does. And Freestone got a piece of that one, although the Spartans get the rebound. Kilkowski behind the net. Comes out in front, scores! Low and into the far corner goes Harry Kilkowski. And the Spartans go back into that 5-goal lead. It's now 12-7.
He got a step in front of his man, as you're going to see in the replay. Takes it to the left. Nope. Spin around right to the right. The window is small, but wide enough for him. He fires it home. The Spartans now equal in the quarter, 2-2. Back up, 12-7. So a great goal by Kilkowski. No assist because he picked it up off the errant shot. And with 7:18 to go, the Spartans have a little bit of a healthier lead now.
And the face-off following that Spartan goal, brought up here by Horowitz after the face-off win, and gives it to Atlas. Atlas for Medeiros. And this is Minor. Gives it to May, who had just stepped on the field. Back to Minor and to Medeiros again. Medeiros across the Tampa line. And he's chased, has to send it in behind the net. Back to Medeiros again. Medeiros on the far side of the field. And in behind the net. Medeiros with it again. And pass in front. Good save there by Ulmer on a shot taken by Flamensbeck. And off to the races for UT goes Hayden Toth. Toth takes a shot and handled there as Freestone turns around and sends it back the other way. In transition, the Mocs take a shot, and the attempt by Griffin Phillips goes out of play. And the official down there in the corner says possession stays with Florida Southern, as that's Matt Flamensbeck over there that made the diving effort. Now this is Jay Minor, one-on-one against Owen Matukas. Minor back up top and the far side, and now a shot is taken that Ulmer handles off the stick of Brendan Glasser. And the Spartans go back the other way. A drop pass and a shot coming, and nice save there by Freestone on the attempt by Hayden Toth. And end-to-end action here as things starting to heat up in the latter stages of the third quarter. We're down to 5 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third. Pass goes into the corner. And now pulled down by Sean Nolan. Nolan in behind the Spartans net. Nolan one-on-one there with Casey Platonik. Nolan a spin move. And now a pass to the far side. Up top, that's Clayton Mensch. He's bumped, carries on. Pass over to the near side. And Atlas directs traffic. And it's knocked free from his stick. And it'll be chased down by Matthew Badeau. He caused the turnover and he goes the other way. He's being chased, crosses the Mocs line. Badeau takes a shot. And another save made by Maxwell Freestone. What a busy afternoon for him.
Freestone has had a good afternoon, and pretty busy one too, because he has had to see 28 shots on goal from the Spartans. A little bit leakier in the first half, but so far throughout the second and third quarters, only 4 goals conceded, and he's had a total of 17 saves in the game. Even though Freestone has been busier, Ulmer has also been quite busy, 19 shots on goal, where he saved 12 of them.
And you see the Spartans crossing midfield now. That's Brady Stoll. And over for Charlie Bullish. And a timeout is no. By the look of it, with the number of players going off the field for a change, I thought they were calling a timeout, the Spartans, but instead they turn it over and the Mocs come back the other way, and Ulmer adds to his save total, and he settles it in his own goal crease. And so UT will start up near their own sideline as Sean Nizolik sends it up ahead. And Casey Platonik sends it ahead to Bolish. Bolish waiting as the Spartans are making more changes. And this is Nick Papa, who just came on. Cole Willard joining him out there as well. Papa starts down the side, looks behind the net, has Kilkowski back there, keeps it himself for the time being, now gives it to Kilkowski. And Willard to Bolish. Bolish tries to get past the defender and slides a little bit. Sends it up top now to Papa. Papa gets by the defender, but no real good shooting lane there. Now comes around the other side, and the defender goes down. Pass up top, Willard over to Bolish, and that one goes out of play. And down to just 16 remaining on the shot clock for UT. 2:31 in the third quarter, 12-7. The Spartans in the lead. Kilkowski comes out in front. Oh, and intended the pass for Colin White. And Maxwell Freestone says, "I'll take that, thank you very much." And look at that. The ball bounces the Mocs' way as they come down. Aiden Hickey, and it ends up in the stick of Jordan Long, who gave it to Atlas as the Mocs make some personnel changes. And this is May with it right now. May sends it over for Jay Minor. And now sprinting down the far side, Medeiros sends a pass behind the Spartans' net. And that's Nolan for Minor. And a long shot that misses and goes out of play in the far corner. Possession stays with Florida Southern. 34 on the shot clock, 1:37 in the third quarter. The Mocs had scored 2 goals very early in this quarter and have gone silent offensively since then. As you see, it turned over, and now the Spartans, with 1:32 left in the third, started up out of their own end, and directing traffic is Brady Stoll, and the pass goes up ahead to Matukas. Matukas looks, watches McEnany pass by him, sends it to Kilkowski behind the net. Kilkowski starts his move, watched closely by Minor, and 50 on the shot clock. Kilkowski starts his move, a pass, Matukas shot coming, scores! Owen Matukas on a long bounce shot that finally beats Maxwell Freestone, and the Spartans go into a 6-goal lead with 54 seconds left.
After going down to a 10-7 deficit, the Spartans have fired back with 3 straight goals, and this time for the Spartans scoring, Matukas. And the Spartans now lead by 6. And ultimately, with 54 seconds left, Bruce, have to wonder, can Florida Southern try to equalize the goals total for the quarter, and can the Spartans try to get a 4th in the third?
And on the faceoff, it's chased down. 4 players from the 2 teams combined, and still nobody with possession. And finally, coming up with it is Griffin Phillips for the Mocs, as there is plenty of time for them here, with still 35 seconds in the third quarter. And let's see what they can do here to try to answer back that latest Spartan goal, as it's given out a Robichaux and now sent over for Minor. 12 seconds left in the quarter, and now looking for a shooting lane was Glasser, nothing there, and here comes an attempt, and Ulmer with a kick save as the rebound goes towards the far sideline, but the horn goes to end the third quarter, and so UT goes into the break with a 6-goal lead. Are they on their way to a conference championship? We'll find out when the fourth quarter starts right after this break on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
It's not about any one thing. It's about how everything comes together, how it all connects. People, ideas, resources, community, everything. Quality of life services. That's what we do. Sodexo.
What do you get when you take your favorite food and stuff it inside a pocket of homemade dough? Cooked perfectly until golden brown. It's a mouth-watering empanada from Mr. Empanada. No one makes a better empanada. Take Ted Webb's word for it.
Almost as good as my mom used to make.
Check out our website for a location near you, MrEmpanada.com.
Are the Tampa Spartans 15 lacrosse minutes away from winning the 2022 Men's Lacrosse Sunshine State Conference Championship? We are about to find out as the teams come back out on the field. UT up by 6. In the shots on goal category, they are up 30-20. And face-offs are 14-9 in favor of Florida Southern. And turnovers might be the difference here because the Spartans have caused 16 and Florida Southern has only caused 6. The game totals, Florida Southern has committed 23 turnovers and UT just 10. As you see, the Spartans in possession here to start this fourth quarter. And Matukis rakes it back to Hayden Toth, but the official says no, possession to Florida Southern. And so the Mocs, certainly with their work cut out for them, they need to score as many goals in this quarter as they have the entire game. And along the way, they would have to shut out UT completely for a 1-goal lead. But a lot at stake, and never say never. As you see, Sean Nolan working offensively for Florida Southern. His pass over for Minor. Minor is chased, and Hayden Toth applying the pressure defensively. And now for the Mocs, this is Edward May. May gets past one defender, but Matuka slides over to help out. May gets a shot away and out of bounds. Possession stays with Florida Southern, and the shot clock for them is down now to 25 seconds. Up top with it is Minor. Minor with a spin move, and from a weird angle takes a shot that's going to go out of bounds on the far side of the field. And the official over there rules possession still for the Mocs. And they'll need to work quickly as now the shot clock is in single digits, and there's an attempt. It goes out of bounds and 3 flags thrown. And this comes just 1 minute 26 seconds into the fourth quarter. And let's see what the call is going to be here.
I mentioned something about one of the easier calls of the day. I think with all 3 flags going up, this one might be just a little bit easier to tell that, yeah, there was a foul. We'll just have to see what the ruling is.
Well, Christian Barodiak is over in the penalty area on the far side of the field for UT. And we'll wait to see what specifically the call was. And regardless,
on Tampa number 6, body check.
It's an extra man opportunity for the Mocs, and they go to work here, trailing 13-7, and it's over on the far side, and now down into the corner behind the net. And up top is May. May backing up top to Robichaud, and now looking like he was going to shoot was Minor, and a pass to May, and that one was wide out of play, and the stick broke in the process. And by the way, illegal body check, a 1-minute call was the Christian Brodiak penalty. And the referee picks up the broken stick. Hands it off to the coaching staff, and now Atlas puts it into play from the far corner. And up top, Robichaud. Pass over. Glasser back to Robichaud, and they send it quickly behind the Spartans' net. Up top, and a shot there, and handled nicely off the stick of Glasser. Blake Ulmer saw that one all the way. And Hayden Toth will start it back for UT. Crosses midfield. Sean Mazolik for Platanek. And Platanek across the Mox line, heads down towards the corner. Platanek is chased and comes out the other side, and pass now on the far side of the field. Up top with it for UT. That's Paduch, and this is Owen Miller. Miller starts his move, bounce shot, and it goes wide and out of play. Possession stays with the Spartans. 3:01 into the fourth quarter. We are where we were when the third quarter ended. 13-7. As Harry Kilkowski runs it up. And to McEnany. Luke McEnany has gone quiet for a while. He has 4 goals and 1 assist. You could say, how could someone go quiet with numbers like that? But it seems like it's been a while since we've heard his name get on the score sheet again.
He hasn't scored in, quite a while, so he has gone a little bit cold as of right now. Or maybe he's just trying to add a couple more assists to his point total, and that's the reason we haven't seen him take as many shots on goal.
We saw the pass miss Colin White. And so for the Mox, it's Nick Shannon on the far side of the field. This pass to Matt Bradley, and now connects up ahead with Hickey, and sent back for Bradley again. Bradley across the Spartans line. Bradley looks things over, and now flips a pass for Glasser, and Glasser fighting to get around Brodiak and can't. And quickly up top, no, not a shot, but a nice pass, and there's an attempt by Atlas. He's frustrated as he watches it goes wide and out of play. And now Sean Nolan gives it to Glasser, and the Mox shot clock for them is at 25 seconds. And there's a shot, and Ulmer may have gotten a piece of that one. Goes out of play. And 10.5 minutes to go. And again, the Mox need as many goals without any from the Spartans as they've had the entire game. And so whereas 10 minutes and 15 seconds might sound like a lot of time still left, that's quite a task when you're asking for that many goals in that amount of time while not surrendering any yourself. Spartans on offense now. Sanchez over for Colin White. Back to Sanchez again. And now up top of it for UT is Papa. Across the Mox line. Back down low. And this is Colin White. White up top for Willard. Plays catch there with Papa. And Willard trying to get past the defender. And he's being frustrated by Craig Connor as Papa has some room to work and sends a pass instead behind the net. 14 on the shot clock for the Spartans. This is Bolish. Bolish with some room, scores! Charlie Bolish, and it's 14-7 Spartans.
Bolish, 5 shots, 1 goal, make that 2 goals now on 6 shots after this play right here. takes a run and fires a shot from deep and winds up being able to convert it home and scoring. A great goal by Bolish, and that helps the Spartans now with 9 minutes to go. Can Florida Southern try to come back? That's going to be a big question. That could be a goal that turns the 6-goal gap into a 7-goal gap. To even get it to overtime, Florida Southern will need to do what they've done in the entire game in the goal-scoring category in just a few minutes.
Hunter Turner wins the face-off, gives a pass, and now down low, Colin White scores! The Spartans get another one just like that, and it's 15-7.
Putting the pressure on, pouring the salt into the bullet hole wound. White gets it near the goal, fakes the shot, and gets an overcommittal from Freestone and puts it home. The Spartans lead by 8. A good pass by McEnany to find White. And Florida Southern just struggles right here. We saw Florida Southern do this to the Spartans earlier after scoring, immediately winning off the draw. Tampa scores, gets another goal immediately off the draw. Spartans now lead by 8, 15-7.
Looking for more as Casey Platonik brings it into the Mock's end. And now sends it to Toth and over to Owen Miller. Miller waits. Daniel Fitzpatrick had just stepped onto the field. Miller crosses the Mock's line, sends a pass over, shot coming, scores! Luke McEnany, and there he is, he's back, his 5th goal of the game, and it's now 16-7.
I mentioned that Luke McEnany might just have wanted to pad his assist stat, and he did. He had a 2nd assist, so he now finally finds a goal again. That's goal number 5 and the 7th point in total for McEnany. McEnany with as many goal contributions as the Mocks have goals in total. That one very well could have done it. 8:25 to go. McEnany on fire. Owen Miller this time with the assist.
And another face-off here between Turner and Horwitz. And the Spartans in possession yet again. Sean Nozolek on the far side of the field. Kilkowski with it now. Kilkowski down near the end line, being watched there by Nick Shannon. And Kilkowski patiently brings it back out towards the sideline, sends it back behind the net. Ronan Sanchez over for Ciccini. Up top now Miller and Paduch to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick has a little bit of room. Fitzpatrick breaks in, shoots, scores! Daniel Fitzpatrick, as the Spartans are really pouring it on. And the score now 17-7.
It's only taken 90 seconds for the Spartans to pour 4 more onto their gap. A 17-7 lead with about 7 minutes to go. 39 seconds being the added change. And the Spartans looking unstoppable right now. A solo goal for Fitzpatrick here. Yeah, since 9:06, the goal by Charlie Bolish. Now at 7:39, Spartans have scored 4 in that time period. Fitzpatrick's 2nd, and taking a look, the Spartans have 5 goal scorers that have scored multiple times. So sharing the love, but still those players being dominant for Spartans when taking these shots. Just like in the first quarter, Spartans just on a really good run.
And another attempt here for UT. Ciccini with it. And Matukas up top, and this is why the Spartans are ranked number 1, and this is why they have not lost the entire season. 17-0 coming into today, and keeping their foot on the gas here in the 2022 Sunshine State Conference Championship game. As the clock down to exactly 7 minutes left. And up top with it, Bolish over for Papa. Papa looks, sends it into the corner. Ciccini back behind the net. That's Kilkowski. Kilkowski working against the defender, comes out in front and opts to go to Cole Willard, who goes up top to Bolish, and now back to Willard again. Willard with a bounce shot, scores! Cole Willard, and I think it's officially a rout, as it's 18-7 with just 6:28 remaining.
At the start of the fourth quarter, it had still been relatively close, but all of a sudden, on the sideline, Coach J.B. Clark holds up a sign. You've got permission to go to 7,000 RPM, Spartans, and the Spartans have done just that. Another goal. They now lead by 11. And what was a questionable outcome, there still was a chance for Florida Southern to realistically fight back at the start of the quarter. Now, I don't really think so. The Spartans just still on fire. This time it's Cole Willard able to find the back of the net. Willard's first goal of the game unassisted.
And Kellen Hoke took that face-off for UT. So perhaps we might start to see a new face or two in the game in the waning stages here, as J.B. Clark might give a couple of Spartans an opportunity to get into a championship game setting. His team in front by 11.
I think that would be great for Clark to do, because it's great for players to have a chance to play in such a prestigious match. But what a save by Ulmer. He is not letting up despite the gap.
Blake Ulmer just as responsible for the Spartans being in the position that they're in today, as are the offensive weapons that we've been talking about. Blake Ulmer has 18 saves.
That's as many goals as the Spartans have in total.
See the Mocs working offensively, trying to get something else against him here. And there's one, and they score. And that'll be Andrew Medeiros finding the back of the net. And so Florida Southern makes it 18-8 with 5:38 left in the game.
That was so close to being save number 19, but it bounces into the back of net. Unfortunately there for Ulmer. It's good for Florida Southern, showing some signs of life, getting a nice consolation goal. It might not do much to help them in terms of winning the game, but it's a feel-good goal for Andrew Medeiros. He's able to score in a championship setting, his first goal there, and Atlas gets another assist for 2 on the game, as he's been able to help his team out quite a bit. 5:38 to go. Spartans lead 18-8.
Horwitz out there again for Florida Southern for the face-off, and for UT, this time it was Casey Platanik. And there's a check thrown and a flag. Ronan Sanchez is the one that had initially knocked down Craig Connor, and Sanchez is heading in the direction as though he is the one being called. We'll look to see for that to become official.
Penalty, Tampa number 11, Owen Matukas slashing.
No, it's actually Owen Matukas and not Ronan Sanchez. And so the Mocs back to work offensively, this time with the extra man. Both teams are 0 for 3 with the extra man today, as it's in behind the Spartans' net. Now up top, Robichaud sends a pass over. And a long shot there by Miner. And Ulmer handles that one, rebound. And the referee says reset the shot clock, but no one has possession right now. Finally, it's taken by Matthew Badeau for the Spartans, but the official right there says not so quickly. That's Florida Southern ball. And the clock continues to run, 4:45 to go in the game. Pass and a shot coming. Ulmer with another stop there on the attempt by Jay Miner. And the Spartans will bring it up out of their own end, as off to the races goes Christian Brodiak. And now across the Mocs line, Brodiak has some room, drops off a pass in the corner that's missed by Christian Cicchini, and so it'll be turned over.
And the Spartans have had a lot of help from the goal-scoring category, with so many goals so far, 18-8 lead. But honestly, the MVP's got to be Ulmer. 21 saves. 21 saves. That's 3 more goals than the Spartans have had in total. He's been on another level today.
And now here's the Mocs trying for more, and a bounce shot, and Ulmer got a piece of that one. And a loose ball is chased into the corner and raked at by Brady Stoll, but the Mocs somehow come up with it. And Medeiros with a pass. That's Glasser. And Medeiros sends it up top now as Minor sends it over to the other side. Atlas on the run. Atlas gets by the defender. A flag is thrown. And play stops with 3.5 minutes left. And we're going to have another call here. And this is all basically for the record books at this point, as we're down to just 3.5 minutes left and a 10-goal Spartan lead. We're also going to have a timeout called, and so we will step aside as well and be back with more of the 2022 Sunshine State Conference Men's Lacrosse Championship game on the SSC Digital Network. Back live, 3.5 minutes left, and the Mocs put it in play on the far side of the field, and they send it in behind the UT net. Atlas pushes it over, and now Minor sends it up top. May gets it back from Robichaux, and a shot that goes out of play. 47 on the shot clock for the Mocs, as it will be put in play back there by Atlas. Minor up top to Robichaux, over to May, and good passing here by Florida Southern, as that one's airmailed, and it's going to go out of bounds and turned over. So the Spartans take it back down the other way. Owen Matukas on the run, passes it into the corner. Cecchini up top now for Day, and this is Charlie Bolish across the Mocs line. Bolish into the corner, and in behind the net it's Nicky Palermo, and Palermo 2.5 to go, sends it over to the other side, and now the Spartans starting to make a couple of changes. Christopher Sesla also out there. He and Palermo, first time in this game, calling their names. Sanchez for Bolish. Bolish tries to race around the defender. Drops a pass back. A long shot coming by Christopher Sesla. It goes out of play.
And Alonso here with 2 minutes to go. Ulmer, what a game he's had. He's been pulled for Taylor just for the final couple minutes. And Taylor will get a chance between the sticks for a conference championship game. A great moment for him and a great moment for the Spartans. Shot clock will expire. They're just going to dump the ball away. And the final possession here with a shot clock. 100 seconds to go.
And the Mocs will start from their end line and play it to their goaltender, Maxwell Freestone. As much as we've talked about Blake Ulmer, what a busy afternoon Freestone has had. Yes, he's allowed 18 goals, but he's also made 17 saves. And as you see, the Mocs now gain midfield. Fitzgerald. And now over to Edward May. May for Medeiros. And the clock down now to just 65 seconds. And the Mocs carry on. Atlas pass in front, and it's taken away. On the spot for UT defensively was Sam Collingwood. And Collingwood sends a pass up ahead now for Jackson Day. Up ahead with it, Hayden Toth. And now Cicchini. The Spartans really should be in no hurry to take a shot. They can essentially work the rest of the game clock as it's at 35 seconds. And there's a nice differential of about 22 seconds, meaning that there's more time on the shot clock than there is the game clock. Although you see it turned over as Florida Southern. Oh, there's an errant pass, but now it's scooped up. And off to the races goes Craig Connor. Connor takes a shot, and a save made there by Chase Taylor. And so he gets to record a save in a conference championship game. Spartans go back the other way as Hoke takes it across the line, and the horn ends, and the Tampa Spartans win it. They are the 2022 Sunshine State Conference champions in men's lacrosse, knocking off the Florida Southern Mocs by a score of 18-8, and they swarm at midfield to celebrate this title, and what is a perfect season as they go unbeaten in 2022, 18-0. Congratulations to head coach J.B. Clark in his first season at the helm of the Spartans program.
What a debut for J.B. Clark. He came in with a new team. It's always a little bit of a feeling out period when you're a new coach settling in. Yeah, not for J.B. Clark. He threw that rule out of the window. 18-0 regular season and conference postseason. Absolute masterclass from the Tampa Spartans this year. Their 7th conference tournament championship, giving them the sweep, the regular season title, and postseason title. Their 7th Sunshine State Conference championship in men's lacrosse. What a game it was for the Spartans, an 18-8 win. The goal scorers, McNaney, offensive player of the game, you'd argue, because 5 goals and 2 assists. That 7-point performance was a huge part of the Spartans' win. Fitzpatrick, Bullish, White, and Matukis also combined for braces, all of them getting 2 goals. Meanwhile, for Florida Southern, Flamin Speck gets 2 goals, Miner able to collect a championship hat trick, Medeiros, May, and Nolan also found the back of the net, Nolan and Atlas combining with 2 assists each. In goal for Florida Southern, Freestone, he did concede a few goals, but 17 saves. Ultimately, a good day, 48.6 save percentage. In goal for the Spartans, Taylor came in for the final 2 minutes, 34 seconds, and recorded a single save on a single shot on target. But all eyes on Ulmer, the my man of the match. 22 saves on 30 shots on target. That 73% save percentage, I think, was the true key to the Spartans' successful championship victory.
Spartans outshoot Florida Southern 35-31. The Mocs actually controlled faceoffs at 16-14. But as I mentioned, big story is turnovers, and the Mocs committed 25. Spartans, quote-unquote, only committed 14. And probably even more glaring, the Spartans caused 19 turnovers, and the Mocs were successful just 7 times in the game in doing that. And it all adds up to an 18-8 Spartans victory. We do encourage you to check TampaSpartans.com so that you know the schedule once the NCAA playoffs are announced in terms of opponent, location, date, and time. TampaSpartans.com will be your online home for all that information. And again, our congratulations to head coach J.B. Clark in guiding this team not only to a conference championship, but a perfect season, 18-0. They went 16-0 in the regular season, did UT, and then winning here the other night and getting the right to advance to today's championship game, where they knock off their rival Florida Southern by 18-8. As you see the teams in the handshake line and this will be followed by the trophy presentation at midfield and the announcement of the all-tournament team. And what a great afternoon, really, for fans of both teams, because we saw how well Florida Southern traveled. They brought a lot of fans with them, both for this game as well as the women's lacrosse game that we called right before this one. Florida Southern victorious in that one, knocking off UT for the women's lacrosse Sunshine State Conference Championship. And fans for both teams, both games, got to see a lot of exciting lacrosse and a lot of offense today.
Yeah, this is one of those times where both fans can go home with a smile at the end of the day. Florida Southern fans can celebrate the women's lacrosse title. Tampa can celebrate the men's lacrosse title. A beautiful day as well. I mean, who doesn't want to spend it out here at the Namoli Family Intramural Complex? Beautiful weather, not too hot, it's the right temperature. We've got a few clouds, but it's still not cloudy enough where it's like a very damp day. It's just overall, I think, everything coming together for a beautiful Sunday afternoon.
But even for the teams that came out on the wrong side of both games, for UT women's lacrosse, for Florida Southern men's lacrosse, you still go to the old saying that there's so many other teams who would love to have just been in this game, win or lose. And so there's still something to be said about taking pride in getting to the championship, whether you won it or not. Everybody wants to win, only one team can. And in the case of this game that you're watching, seeing on the field here, the Spartans were victorious for the men's lacrosse SSC 2022 title, 18-8 our final score. I'm Taylor Stolworthy. I thank you for watching, whether it's been from a Florida Southern or a Tampa Spartans perspective. Bruce Wozniak, Taylor Stolworthy, we thank you for watching Tampa Spartans lacrosse, and do watch tampaspartans.com for NCAA playoff information, and have a great Sunday.
Did you say I'm Taylor Stolworthy at the end of that?
I said, I'm Tom Colby, and if you have complaints,
yes.
address them to
I'm Tom Colby. If you have complaints, email them to me, takecolby@ut.edu, and make sure you send it 3 times because they don't always go through. You can also call me at this number right here. I'm up at every hour of the day, but it's best to call me at 4 a.m.
Did you see him when he was sitting here at the beginning of the women's game? Like, he was getting calls like, it's like,
I know.
Okay, bye. He puts his phone down and goes, hey, bye. Hey, like, man.
He's busy.
Is there other sports going on today?
I don't think so. There's baseball. How do they do?
That was nuts.
That's good. Yeah, they're finished up their just regular season since they don't have
They won 9-1.
They don't have what?
They don't have
their last
conference postseason.
Oh, they don't?
Lacrosse and baseball just
there
use
is
regular
no
season.
conference tournament for baseball or softball.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field for the presentation of the championship trophy by the Sunshine State Conference Senior Assistant Commissioner, Mary Ann Sinclair.
Yeah, and the last 3 baseball series are all on the road.
We would like to announce
so they won't host another
men's
game
lacrosse
until
all-tournament team
like
first.
the South Regional in like the middle of May.
Huh.
From Florida Tech, Zach Rosioni. From Rollins, Grant Hansen. From Florida Southern, Kevin Horwitz.
Horowitz, he owes me money.
From Florida Southern, Maxwell Freestone. From Florida Southern, Edward May.
With softball yesterday, I was doing the games alongside Soraya Hernandez, so we were also plugging Soraya's pictures Instagram, shots by Soraya, alongside a broadcast in PA. So that was pretty funny. Dan, if you don't mind, I'm gonna see your seat.
And from the University of Tampa, Hunter Turner. Matthew Bedeau. Fitzpatrick. Luke McInerney. And last but not least, the tournament's most outstanding player, goalkeeper Blake Ulmer.
We can fix this out. There we go. Just with the mics on.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to give a round of applause for this year's Sunshine State Conference Tournament runner-up, the Florida Southern Mocs. And now, presenting the Sunshine State Conference Men's Lacrosse Tournament champions, the University of Tampa Spartans.
Why did they say it like that?
Yeah.
Fans, we thank you for joining us here today at the Demoli Family Field. Your support of this tournament is greatly appreciated, and we wish you safe travels to your next destination.
Dan, are you going down to the Alps by chance?
I wasn't planning to.
Should I consider those ultimately have to go to Tom? Thank you.
Oh wait, guys, we should get up like together because we're gonna be like in the back end of the shot.
What now?
I should do like a pose or something for him.
They won't get us up here. We're way too high up.
Yeah.